This is Chapter 4 of the Geography of the Americas unit we're studying, and the title of this chapter is Central America. You can follow along in your own student reader from Notability, or you can follow along on this screen, but as you do follow along, I would love for you to read with me. Central America. To the south of Mexico is Central America, a mountainous area of land that connects North America and South America. There are 7 small countries in Central America. Can you find Guatemala on the map? Guatemala is a mountainous country with 3 active volcanoes. Guatemala has rainforests and is home to Lake Atitlan, the deepest lake in Central America. So here you can see Guatemala. Right here is the country of Guatemala. We have 7 countries: Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, teeny tiny country of El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama. That makes up Central America. On its southern end, Lake Atitlan is surrounded by 3 volcanoes. This word mountainous that they used several times up here means that it has lots of mountains in it. Let's turn to page 20. Although conquered by the Spanish, many of the people in Guatemala are descendants of the Maya people. That means that they are people who have family members who lived in the past. The Maya of Guatemala built a mighty empire with great cities and tall pyramids hundreds of years before the Aztec built their empire in Mexico. An empire is a group of countries or territories under the control of one government or ruler. Maya farmers grew maize, which if you remember from a previous chapter means corn, and beans, as do the farmers of today. But today's Guatemalan farmers are known for their delicious coffee beans and bananas. They also produce sugar. They sell these products to countries around the world. The country of Belize is east of Guatemala. Much of this country is covered with a thick rainforest full of wildlife. Bananas and citrus fruits are important crops in this country. The country of Honduras is the second largest country in Central America. Like its neighbor, Guatemala, it has high mountains, rainforests, and low coastal lands. It is the only country in Central America that does not have volcanoes. Scientists travel to Honduras to learn about the plants and animals in the cloud forests. Cloud forests are wet forests like rainforests that are almost always covered in clouds. Next to the western part of Honduras on the Pacific is El Salvador. El Salvador is the smallest country in Central America. This tiny country is known as the land of the volcanoes because about 20 of them are active, which means they will erupt. The ash from the volcanoes is good for farmers' corn, rice, and bean crops as it improves the soil. Nicaragua is roughly the size of New York State. It is the largest country in Central America. It too has active volcanoes and is often shaken by earthquakes. Because it's a land of strong winds, hot sun, and active volcanoes, its people use these natural resources. These wind turbines are used to create electricity. Boys and girls, earthquakes are the shaking of the Earth's surface. They are caused by the plates in the Earth's crust suddenly moving. Some earthquakes are very small and others are very big and cause lots of damage. Natural resources, this word right here, natural resources are things that are found in nature that are useful to us, to people. For example, water is a natural resource because people use it to drink, clean, bathe, and swim. The strong winds are a natural resource in Nicaragua. They can change that wind into electricity. These wind turbines that you see in the pictures are tall machines that use wind to produce electricity. The wind pushes the blades around, and as the blades move, they make electricity. The country of Costa Rica is south of Nicaragua and north of Panama. Costa Rica has two major mountain ranges as well as active volcanoes. Tourism is important to Costa Rica. People from all over the world go there to enjoy the beautiful beaches and to zip line through the cloud forests. Do you know anyone who has gone ziplining in Costa Rica? I know a couple people. Tourism, boys and girls, is the business of providing services, kind of like hospitality, such as having places to stay, eat, and play for all the people traveling. The southernmost country in Central America is Panama. Panama is a narrow strip of land. It is the home of a canal that connects the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean. Before the canal was built, ships carrying goods sailed all the way around the southern tip of South America to get from one ocean to the other. This was a long and dangerous journey. Today, thousands of ships pass through the canal, which has been expanded to carry even more traffic. A canal, right here, this word canal, is a channel or water passageway dug by people. The Panama Canal is one of the most famous canals in the world because it connects the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean. In the waters off the southern tip of the United States, stretching all the way down to the northern coast of South America, are a group of beautiful islands called the West Indies, right in here, West Indies. Many of the islands are in the Caribbean Sea. One of these islands, Puerto Rico, is part of the United States. However, Puerto Rico is not a state, but is instead a self-governing territory. The capital of Puerto Rico is San Juan. Cuba is the largest of all the islands in the West Indies. The U.S. Virgin Islands are also in the Caribbean Sea. Some of you might have relatives, or maybe some of you have even lived in Puerto Rico. And there, right there's Puerto Rico. A really big vacation spot for a lot of people is the Dominican Republic and Jamaica, the Bahamas, lots of islands for people to visit. Boys and girls, after you're finished with this, you are going to do some other activities that can be found in the Geography of the Americas folder.